Yeah. So guys, the batch that we have today is for basic of Python. So when I say basic of Python, it is basically called when we are covering the introduction to Python. So how many of you will ask are pretty much new to Python who are doing it for the first time? You can raise your hand or you can speak as well and find it. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 people are basically new. Five, so yeah, 5 people are new to Python. Okay, sure. So what I will do is I will start with introduction to Python, like what is Python and all the things. Then I'll eventually with time we will proceed to the next the next part, that is basically that comes to like working with Python. So let me give you the introduction of Python. So when we say Python, it is basically a tool, application, an application, a programming application which helps us to program and create the applications. So when I normally say
So
like working
there's
with
some background noise disturbance.
just give me a second. Just give me a second, guys. Is it fine now, guys, or it's still same?
Still same, sir.
Just give me a second. Oh, let me rejoin then. Just give me a moment. Is it better, guys, or it's still same?
Yes,
Better,
sir.
better. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So let me tell you. So when we say Python is basically an application with the help of which Python is basically a programming language with the help of which we can develop applications. So when we say Python has been divided into two parts. One is the core Python, and second is Python like Anaconda Python. In core Python, what we do is we develop the applications, end-to-end applications kind of a thing. But when it comes to the Anaconda Python, so some of the functions that have already been developed for us. So this Python, Anaconda Python, is basically known as Python for data sciences. So in this we develop data science models, we develop statistical models. Hey guys, please put yourself on mute. Yeah. So when we say Python for data sciences, here we develop like the data science models, the statistical models, and all. So the core Python is totally different. That is Python for developers. So do you guys know what is a developer and a data scientist? The difference between a developer and a data scientist?
No, sir.
Oh,
So developer is basically a person who develops the high-end applications. The high-end application is a front-end application, a logic application that is there. So, but for us, the data scientists, we basically develop machine learning prediction models. That's the difference. We don't develop front-end models. We don't develop the entire code that will run on execution. So if you click on a button, so this button will take you somewhere else. So this is the function which a developer works on. But when we say but when we say data scientist works on algorithm that when a button is pressed, then some prediction will happen. So that is the difference between a data scientist and a person who is working as a developer. Is it fine now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when we say developer, so for developer normally work on an application that is known as core Python. But when we say data scientist works on developing machine learning models, AI models, NLP models, and many, which we will be covering across. So when we work on Python, the version of Python that we use is known as Anaconda Python. So in this Anaconda Python, when you install this Anaconda Python to your system, it will by default install some IDs for you. When I say ID, these are the distributed environments on which you can code. You can work on Spider, you can work on Jupyter, you can work on IPython and many more applications. And with the help of this, what you will be able to do, you will be able to develop your data science or statistical models. So when as a first step, what you need to do, guys, you need to get Anaconda installed on your system. Anaconda is basically an application which helps you to access Python from a data science perspective. Is it fine now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So how many of you don't have Anaconda installed on your system? Just raise your hands. Yeah, one of the person does not have the Anaconda on its system. The rest, I guess, the people have. Yeah, 2 people. So I'll just after this, I'll tell you the step to how to download Anaconda. So once you download Anaconda your system, the second step is the ID, the working environment, which you will automatically get. So there are basically 3-4 working environments on which we normally work on. So one of the working environment is known as Jupyter. The second working environment is known as Spider. When we say Jupyter is normally known as a notebook kind of a working environment. But when we say Spider is basically a console based working environment. So this is the difference. I'll just after explanation of this, I'll show you all the things which I've been just telling you guys. First step is Anaconda. Second is deciding on which ID you guys will be working on. You have full choice. Either you go with a Jupyter or with Spider. Like there's no problem. Third console is known as IPython. IPython is basically for the people who are experts, who know each and every command. So Jupyter and Spider, when you work on, they provide you instance with the help of which you can take a guidance. Like when you write a command, they will complete the particular thing that you're trying to write. But IPython will not give you that particular instance. So IPython is not that strong. So IPython is basically for the people who are well versed with the Python as a code. But as a beginner, you should choose either Jupyter or Spider. Everybody fine with it? Any questions still here?
No, sir.
Okay. First step is downloading an Anaconda, installing Anaconda. Second step is working on choosing the ID which you want to choose. Either it will be a Spider or a Jupyter. What is the third step? The third step is to understand the language. When I say understanding the language, it means understanding the data types of the language. What are the data types the language has? Say integer, say dictionary, list, and many sets, tuple, and many more. Okay, this is the third step. Fourth step is covering the basics of language. When we say cover the basic of language, it is basically getting well versed with the language, how the language works, how we input the data, how we get the data back. All these things we work on. So this is these steps are known as getting well versed with the language. This is the fourth step. Okay. Fifth step is understanding statistical concepts, understanding machine learning, like what is machine learning, how do we write machine learning codes and all the things. Then it comes a sixth step. Sixth step is, after this step, the sixth step is to write machine learning programs, to write artificial intelligence programs, to write deep learning programs, to write NLP based programs. So with time, I will tell you the difference of all these things. What is machine learning? What is AI? What is NLP? What is deep learning? So writing these programs. So after this, the next step is putting, or like basically the program which you have made, you are putting it into a live application kind of is the next step ahead. So did you guys get what are the steps which I've been trying to explain?
Yes, sir.
Everybody or anybody, any question? So guys, don't think if the people are new, say 5, 6, 7 people, whosoever are new in this age, in this batch, for which I have been covering this basic Python thing. If you're getting any problem, don't think that if you'll ask a question that like what other people think. No, everybody is new here. You can ask your question in case you have any doubt at any point of time. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
What is
Yes,
step
sir,
2?
sure.
Sorry.
What is step 2, sir? May I know?
Step 2 is deciding your IDE. Whether you
Okay.
want to work on Jupyter or you want to work on Spider or what on wherever you want to, or you can switch as well because the commands will remain same.
Okay, sir.
Anybody else who has any doubt?
No.
Till now? Okay. If you don't have doubt, so let me share my screen. Then let me tell you. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the first step what we do is we say, if I'll say download Anaconda Python, you will go to the site that is known as this site. You'll go to you'll say download. I will not see download because I already have Anaconda in my system. This will download the Anaconda to you, and the way your screen looks like is something like this. It will ask for a path. And you will get an Anaconda like this. This folder called Anaconda. It is very huge size. Okay, around 500, 600, even more than that MBs are the sizes. It will take time to download. Once downloaded, so it is in GBs. See, so it will once you download this, so this will come here, and this will have various files within it. Okay, that's why I'll tell you the meaning of these files, what are the files and all things about. But this is the first step, how you download the Anaconda. Are you guys with me, the new people?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let me ask before I continue. The people who are new, can please raise their hands again. Sheetal. Okay, Sheetal, Ajinkya, Vivek. Okay. Okay, so if I'll ask, say Sheetal. Sheetal, did you get it? Like how to install Anaconda?
Yes, sir. I have Anaconda installed on my system.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who does not have the Anaconda installed on its system?
Ajinkya.
Ajinkya.
Ajinkya, did you get it? How to install Anaconda?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. So now, after this, once we have this installed, the next step is to choose the IDE. When I say IDE, I'll go here. So it will open. It will automatically come as Jupyter. The one that is being opened is Jupyter. I'll also tell you what is Spider. I'll also tell you what is IPython. So once you install Anaconda, so this will come automatically to your search bar. So it is opening. So let me close it and I'll say, okay, I guess, yeah. So let me close it and let me reopen because I have closed the black window. I'll say, this is an app. It's known as IDE. This will open the Jupyter. Okay, now if you'll say new, this opens the Jupyter node. Here we write the command, say if I'll say 2 plus 2. Here it will give the output. This is Jupyter. Second is Spider. So Spider will take some time to open. Let it open. So I'll tell you what is Spider. Yeah, it is opening. You see, on my system, Spider does not work, but not a problem. I will tell you how to work on Spider as well. This is various windows. This is the window where we write the command. We have written I'll say this. You see, so here we write the commands. Here it will execute. Now it is not executing. There's some file that has been deleted, but here it executes. Here it is a console kind of a window where you get like what are the different variables that you create. This is Spider environment on which we also work upon. So one is Jupyter and second is Spider environment. And third environment is known as Okay. So it works like when you go on CMD, you say so. Let's say I. Okay, I'll tell you what is the third. Even I don't use IPython. Basically, these are the two. Third is IPython, which is not opening right now. But these are the two, like major. One is Jupyter, and second is Spider. So here in this class, we will be majorly working on Jupyter. Okay. So Jupyter will give you. You will give the command. It will give you the output in the next cell only. Is it fine, guys?
Yes, sir.
Anybody any doubt?
So where we will use print function,
Sorry.
print function.
Yeah, you can use print function. You say print 10. Print. Got it?
Yes.
Sir, to print sentences, we can use print function, no, sir?
Or anything.
I mean, basically.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. When we work on Python, we have the different data types in Python. In Python, we have various data types. Okay. So when we work on Python, as I told you, we have different data types. So let me tell you what are the different data types that we have, how do we work with Python data types, and many more things. But before that, let me tell you, whenever we work on data types in Python, so they are basically divided into different categories. So let me tell you. So there are different data types in Python. One is like the data types which can store the sequences, the data types which cannot store sequences. So there are different data types. But before that, let me tell you what is data type. So anybody any idea what is data type?
Type of data stored in a variable.
Type of data stored in variable. So what are the different types of data we store in variable?
Int, string, boolean,
Float.
start, float.
Yeah, we can store all these types of data in Python. But the thing is, so in Python normally it is being categorized into different parts. One is numeric data type. The first is numeric data type. So let me tell you. So let me make this I'll say. So for the people who are new to the class, if they think that they need at a particular point of time, if they think that they need some time to first install Anaconda, then do this, then stop me then and there only. But after data types, like I will give you that option to stop me, but we need to work on the data types first. Then I will be basically giving you time to decide like whether if you want to continue today or not. So okay, so when we say data type, one is numeric data types. These are basically integer, float, and complex. I'll tell you each and everything, don't worry. Second is data type is sequence. These are sequence data types are known as strings, list, and tuple. Then we have another data type that is set. Another data type that is known as Boolean. Another that is known as
Dictionary.
dictionary. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So, okay, let me tell you. So hash is basically a thing that we use to make a line comment here. So if I'll say a is equal to 5. Okay, I'll say shift enter is the key we use. If I'll say type of a, it is int. Int means it is a integer. If I'll say a is equal to 34.5, I'll say shift enter. I'll say type a. It is float. So integer is the integer value. Integer value is the value that cannot go into decimals. So it belongs to category that is known as int that I have shown. So first is int is a integer value that cannot go to decimals. Okay. Float is a value which helps us to go to decimal points. The thing that is in complex. Complex is anything that is in the form of 1 plus 2j. So we don't use it very often, but I leave it. The next data type is string. If we'll say, okay, so let me take an example of complex. Say C is equal to 2 plus 3j. I'll say, if I shift enter, I'll say type C. It is a complex number. Okay. So as a second step, what we have is we have sequence types. In sequence types, as I mentioned, so it is basically the first sequence type that we have shown over the top as well is string. String is, if I'll say, sequence of characters. Okay, if I'll say str is equal to hello India. If I'll say str, it will give me hello India. It has been covered by the 2 quotes. That is the way that we use to print the string. If I'll say s is equal to s is equal to ABC. Okay, and I'll say print s. It will be ABC without these quotes. If you say str, it will give its original form. If I'll say print, then it will print the string part only. Are you guys with me?
So what is the difference between them?
So both are same. If I'll say here, I'll say s is equal to say hello India. If I'll say s, it will give hello India with these quotes. You see, if I'll say print s, it will hello India only without this quote.
Hello. So you are on mute.
So your voice is not audible. Hello.
Hello, sir. You are on mute.
Yeah, sorry guys. Okay, so if I'll say A is equal to hello. If I'll say
So yes, sir, we have to.
yeah, if I'll say A is equal to hello, I'll say shift enter. I'll say A 0. It will say H, because in Python indexing starts from 0. 0 is H, E is 1, L is 2, another L is 3, and O is 4. So it starts from 0 and it's at 4. So string is a thing why it is sequence, because we can access the portions of it. So if I say str 3, it will say L. If I'll say str 0 to 2, it's a HE. 0 to 2 means 0 and 1. 2 is exclusive. 2 when we don't include. With me?
Yes, sir.
So second part is known as list. List is similar to, like in case you have studied C, it is similar to array. Difference is it contains data of different data types. Say one is integer, second is string. So if I'll say ls is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. If I'll say ls and 1, it will give me 2. Say 2 is the first value, 0th is the first, 2, 3, 4. If I'll say ls is equal to 1, 2, hello, and I'll say 6. We'll say ls. It is the data types of different elements. With me? Anybody any doubt?
Sir, can you explain the last one?
So here we have the list, but the data types is of different types. One is integer, second is integer, third is string, and fourth is again integer. With me?
Yes, sir. So this is called as list.
This is list. This is like an array of same type or different type. If I'll say if I need to access list, I'll say ls. 0th element will give me 1. ls first element will give me 2. We'll say ls 2. It will say hello. If I'll say ls 2 and say 1, it will give me e. Second element is hello, and for second element I have been like finding the first element. Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, somebody asked any question. So the voice is not audible. Come again.
Manual single code is hello.
Yeah.
Am I audible? Yo, when we take quotation, quotation, string.
So your voice is not audible to me. Can you please come again?
Yo, when we take single quotation, triple quotations for string.
Again, the voice is not audible. Can if somebody else has heard it, can you please tell me? So if your question is where do we take a single quote and where do we take a double quote on a string? Is that your question? Hello, I'm audible. Hello team, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so there's a guy who asked a question. What was the question? I didn't get it. If anybody would have get it.
No, sir, his voice was breaking.
Yeah. Okay, so whatever your question is, just repeat it after some time so that if your voice is audible, I will be able to clear it out. So after this, the next is tuple. When we say tuple, it is being known as TUPL, tuple. So tuple is nothing, it is similar to list, but the difference being like list, tuple also contain the collection of the items of different data type, but the tuple is being enclosed by a bracket like this bracket. Okay, so we'll say TUP is equal to 1, 2, 3. Okay, if I'll say type, we'll say it's a tuple. The difference is, so when we have the list, I'll say ls2 is equal to 34. I'll say ls. Now it has amended hello as 34. But in case of tuple, if I'll try to amend it, tuple first element, if I'll try to access, it will give me 2, but I'll say tup first element equal to 34. It will say tuple object has no support item assignment, which means in tuple we cannot assign, but in list we can. So lists are mutable, which means we can change it. Tuple cannot be changed. Once the tuple has been made, we cannot change the tuple elements into. So that's the difference. Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The another data type is dictionary. Dictionary, when I say, I'll say S is equal to A, say name. Say name, I'll say Ajit, the marks. The Ajit has marks. When I say Ajit, yeah. Ajit has marks, say 34. Say Manjeet. I can use Manjeet as 33. I'll say Sujit as 45. I'll say S. So say dictionary. Dictionary is a thing that works on key value pair. So everywhere you work on, so let's example, if I'll say in this example only, I'll again say Ajit and say marks are 33. So S, it will. So you see, I've defined Ajit for the first time, Ajit as a second time as well, but it has taken a single Ajit. Do you see it?
How is it deciding on which adjective to take?
Relative sum.
Key value pair.
Yeah. So the thing is, let me tell you. So what is it? The thing is, so let me explain what is dictionary, then I'll tell you. Dictionary is a key value pair. So whenever you go to your actual dictionary in English, let's example, you find two values in it. One is the sentence, the word, and second is the meaning of the word. Okay. Do you find any duplicate word in a dictionary?
No.
So that's the thing that also exists here. So one is the keys cannot be duplicate. Keys is the name that I have. Key should be unique, and the values can be duplicate. Two words can have the same meaning, but those two words can't be same. This is known as key value pair. Guys, with me?
Yes, sir. So small question: why are we using cover braces for this dictionary instead of we can use square braces or the parentheses, right?
So that's a definition of these things. So for lists, we have square brackets. For tuple, we have round bracket. For dictionary, we have these curly braces.
Can we represent this in parentheses or square braces?
So no, what? Just give me a second, guys. Tell me what was your question? Please ask again.
Can we represent the keys to value pair, that is dictionary, in square braces or in parentheses?
No.
No.
Okay. Thanks, sir.
Within a dictionary, there can be list, but to represent a dictionary, it should be a like this curly braces.
Okay, sir.
So I can do like this. Yeah.
So can we dictionaries into one?
Sorry.
Can we merge two dictionaries into a third dictionary, sir?
Yeah, we can do that. Different ways to it. I will tell you. So if I'll say S now, so now this dictionary. So S, if I'll say S, and I'll say so if I'll say so the way to access the dictionary is through its key. So I will also tell you how to merge two dictionaries and all the things. All these things will come when we will be working on it. So is the dictionary on a higher level clear to you guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So now the next part is Boolean. Boolean is anything in where we have two outputs. One is either true or false. Another is say yes or no, anything. So it's a Boolean. When we say Boolean, it is say it is being represented in a way of true or false. Okay. So here the thing is the term Boolean any time when you get true, false, anything that is known as Boolean. If I'll say print, if I'll say type of, sorry. So anything that is true or false is Boolean. Bool. Type. It is bool. With me?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
So another type is set. So set is basically unordered collection of data types. So unordered means which has unique elements, which cannot store the duplicate elements. Okay, so for creating sets, we have set as a keyword. So if I'll say set is equal to, if I'll say 1, 2, 3, example. If I'll say, sorry, what I need to do is first, okay, first let me write it down. Set is this is set. So here what we need to do is we need to define a keyword set all the time. Okay, so set is basically when I say non-duplicate, so it is basically used it is basically used to store the elements. So in case we store any of the known or any of the duplicate items in this set, it will automatically convert it into a non-duplicate items. So let me tell you. So here as well, when we say define set, so it is not the, I'll say, okay, first let me do like this. Just give me a second, guys. So here we use the braces that is known as the curly braces. So now whenever we declare set, I'll say set, we use this, say I'll say 1, 2, 3, that is example. So let me tell you, then I'll say when I say set, okay, so we don't use say my set. My set is equal to 1, 2, 3. If I'll do like this, it is, if I'll say my set, it is 1, 2, 3. If I'll say my set is equal to 1, 2, 3, 2. Let's example, I'll say my set. It is 1, 2. The duplicate entries will automatically be removed. If I'll say s is equal to set 1, 2, 3, 4, I'll say this will basically give a error. Why? Because the thing is, when it's set, so okay, before this, let me tell, my set is equal to, if I'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, say I'll say 4, 5, 1, 2. I'll say this, I'll say my set. So you see, it has ordered the elements automatically. Did you get it? Did you see it?
Yes, sir.
And second part is, when in case I try to store any duplicate value, say 4, it will remove that duplicate value. So this is known as unordered collection of non duplicate with me.
Also.
Now the thing, yeah, the thing with that I've been explaining was what we can do here is say my set equal to 1 comma 2 comma 3.0 comma hello comma sorry I'll say now it has again ordered these. So 1 comma 2 comma 3 is a group of elements, tuple kind of a storage. It has taken it as initial 1 2 3, then 1 2 basis their preferences. It has already ordered these elements. Are you guys with me?
Sir, but can we update these variables like you have updated?
If I'll say my set 1, it will say set object is not subscriptable, which means you cannot.
Means?
So in case you want to access, say my set, I'll say my set is equal to 1 comma 2 comma 3, and I'll say my set 1. It means whenever it is being defined, you cannot access the elements.
Okay, sir.
So when you need to create an empty set, there are two ways. Either you say A is equal to this. Okay, it will create an empty set. It will say A empty set. Second is A is equal to set like this. Why it is not working? I think it should work. Some of the commands are not working. I don't know why. This should work, I guess. And another one. I don't know why it is not working. So ideally it should work. Say B. Okay. B is equal to so ideally it should work. So let me tell you guys. Let me
Oh, you
retell
have
you.
curly braces, I guess.
No. When we use set only, when we use the keyword set, then we don't need the curly braces.
Okay, sir.
I don't know why it is not working. So I will tell you why it is not working. Ideally it should work. Okay, guys. So if I have a set, if I make a set, again say my set is equal to 1 comma 2 comma 3, and if I'll say so I told you I cannot access the element, but if I'll say my set dot add say 4, I'll say my set now it is added. So you can append it with the keywords that are defined. With me?
Yes,
please
sir.
repeat.
In
Sir,
case I
please
want to
repeat.
add, yeah.
Append a function. I don't understand.
So I just need to add another element to this set. So I said my set dot add say 45. So it will add 45 to it.
If I want to remove,
Yeah, for remove. So first before that, let me tell this my set dot update. If I want to add multiple elements, I'll say so we have 1 2 3 4. I'd say 5 6 7 8. My set dot update. I don't know why some commands are not working here. These commands should work. So update is there. Okay, sorry. So I need to pass like this 3 4 5. Say 8 9 10. Yeah. So now 8 9 10 has been added to it. So guys, the thing is there are multiple functions that are there in Python. In Python in set in different data types that we have.
So, but append function, update function, both are similar.
Add function is basically used to add a single element. Update function is used to update multiple elements. If I'll say now my set dot remove say 4, I'll say my set, it won't have 4. So if I'll say my set dot remove, I'll say 10, say 11, it does not have 11 in it. It will say there is no item 11 that's there. So this add is to add a single element, update is to add multiple elements. Are you guys with me?
So
yes, sir.
if I want to remove multiple elements,
Yeah, so you can say, so I don't think it is feasible. My set dot remove say 2 3. So it will take only one argument. It will not take multiple arguments.
okay, so got it.
Remove is the only word here. There might be some other feasibility, but I have not used any other thing. So these are the things. With me, any idea? Any doubt till now?
No, sir.
So these are the data types that we used in Python.
So,
Yeah.
so we have to remember all these functions like dot add, dot update, dot render.
No. So right now, the thing is, the beautiful part is you don't have to remember. So whenever anything comes, so you just type dot, say if I'll say my set, and if I'll say type dot and press tab, it will give all the functions. With me,
Yes, sir.
even I don't know all the functions. So some of the common functions that we use, if I'll say my set dot clear. Let's say my set. No, my set dot say my the set is now empty set. all the elements have been removed. With me, guys?
Yes, sir.
So these are the data types in Python. Now I'll tell you about the libraries in Python. So not libraries, I will tell you about the libraries in Python. So when we work on Python, for everything we have a library that is being created. So okay, for the people who are new, do you want me to go with the libraries as a next concept, or you find till here? I'll cover the theory as I'll cover the practical. Okay, guys, do you want me to cover more practical with respect to the libraries, or do you want me to cover the theoretical part in case it is not going over you?
So the practical part of the libraries.
Okay. So let me tell you what is library, then I'll cover the practical part of it. So whenever we work in this Python environment, this Python with data science environment, so we don't need to be worried about the things to be created from beginning. What we normally do, we create the things with the help of libraries. So in Python, we have different libraries that have been made for different purposes. So in case you need to work on an Excel kind of a data in Python, we have a library called Pandas library. Which library? Pandas. In case we need to do numerical calculations, then we have a library that is known as NumPy. So let me write it down. Okay, for numerical calculations, with me, for machine learning, matplotlib for plotting. With me, guys? So whenever we work on Python, we install the libraries. So I will tell you how to install the libraries.
So what is SkyPy?
So there are various libraries for various purposes. SkyPy will have some other purpose which I might not be aware of. So I have worked on matplotlib, then I have worked on another skimage library. Then I have a number of libraries I have worked with. SkyPy will also have some other purpose. There are various libraries in Python. Yeah.
Seaborn is also a library of Python.
Seaborn is used for plotting. As matplotlib, Seaborn is also used for plotting.
So it is also a library, right?
Yeah. So now, whenever we need to import library, I'll say import pandas as PD. What it will do is it will install pandas, the library that is pandas, and alias name is PD. So if I'll say PD dot now, so PD dot, it will give all the functionalities, but don't worry, I'll not go into that right now. So the thing is, pandas installed. I'll tell you what are the libraries, how they are being installed. So if I'll say C drive. I'll say C drive. I'll say users. I'll say select the user. I'll say Anaconda. I'll say lib. Within lib, I'll say side packages. So now within this side packages, what I have is you see pandas here. So some of the libraries that come inbuilt when we install Python. Some of the libraries, say pandas is a thing that come here. Also NumPy is a thing that come here automatically. Some of the libraries that don't come here automatically. For this, what we usually do is we need to install these libraries. For installing these libraries, we have different like functions in here. So if I'll say, so some of the libraries that come inbuilt, say pandas, NumPy, Matplotlib, are the libraries sklearn. If I'll say sklearn, it will also be here. Seaborn here, sklearn here, skimage here, and many more things. But the thing is, in case we need to install any of the library into the Python console, what we normally do is we go here, we say Anaconda prompt. If I'll open it, it's a Conda install, and I write the name of the library. I'll say I want to install NLTK. What it will do, it will install this library from wherever location it has been stored into, and it will bring it into your Python environment. And automatically, this NLTK library will come here. So for me, it's already installed. So you will see.
So what is NLTK?
NLTK is for natural language processing. We have a library for natural language processing. So I'm just telling you about various libraries that we work on. So whenever we need to work on some of the applications like NLP, machine learning, we need a library. Some of the time the libraries are already being installed when you install Anaconda. In case these are not installed, this is the way to install. Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir.
So it is getting installed. So in a similar way, it will be installed into the environment. So it's saying all requested packages are already installed. With me, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So one is so right now the thing is some of the packages that we install are pretty much straightforward, but in some of the packages we need to work on the dependencies. When we say dependencies, which means the package cannot be installed directly, it has certain dependencies in it. So for this, what we normally do is we say so one way is basically Conda installed NLTK Let me try it.
So what is Conda and Anaconda?
So Anaconda is a prompt. Anaconda is a prompt. And okay, spelling is wrong, dependencies. So let me see what it does is. Okay. So now Anaconda is basically a prompt. So if you see here, Anaconda is a application. Conda is a command to install the libraries in it. With the help of Conda, we can install. There are another ways to install. One is pip. So if I'll say CMD, if I'll say pip install pandas, you can. So pip does not work for me because like I have to update. So, but the another thing is with the help of pip we can install. And second is with the help of Conda. If you go to CMD command prompt, you will go write pip, and when you go with Anaconda prompt here, you will say Conda install. In case you're going with CMD, you will say pip install. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So dependencies, if you write like the spelling is wrong, dependency is equal to true. It will install the dependencies as well. Another way to install is say Anaconda navigator. Now the navigator will open. Now this navigator will also provide us an option to install. Let it open. So guys, okay. So now I'll say environment later. Now in case I'll go to environments here, the second tab, it will give you the packages that are already being installed. It has all the list of packages which are not installed. It will give you the packages that are not installed here. You can click any of the package like this. It will be clicked once these will be loaded, and it will give you option to install, and you will start installing it. So if you'll say this, and it will say apply. So this will install this package as well. You can search the name of the package here. Say so. Let it open. So it will. So this is basically the way to install the package. The another important way is let it work. So let's example you want to install it. You'll go here, go to Google to say install NLTK. It will take you NLTK here. Will say Conda install and Conda NLTK, but say down. Okay, not install. Will certainly I need to say download. So here it will come. So it will give you a file, NLTK file. So it's you say download files. It will, what you want to do, you copy this file, zip file or wheel file, and unzip it and store whatever the output coming into your this folder, site packages folder. Copy and paste it. So it will be NLTK, and it will, if you'll say pip installed NLTK, or if you'll say here after this, after copying this file and pasting it here, if you'll say import NLTK into the Jupyter environment, it will definitely start importing the NLTK into it. These are the different ways with the help of which we can. So let it come on the navigator. It's still working. So these are the different ways with the help of which you can download the libraries. Guys, with me?
Yes, sir.
Anybody any doubt?
So why do we create environments with Anaconda Navigator, may I know?
So this environment.
Yes,
This is the-
exactly.
yeah, this is the base environment. So sometimes it requires. So this is the system defined environment. So in case you want any other particular environment to be created, so this environment, why it needs to be created is, if you have the multiple users working on it, one is working on one environment, second is working on second environment, then you create the environment. And in case any of the environment is getting corrupt, then you need the another environment. But for this purpose, right now we will be working on a base environment only, the same environment.
Okay,
With
sir.
me?
So all the packages we already did install, which are applicable to IDEs in Anaconda.
So this is not applicable to IDs. This can be used by any of the ID. Either you work on Spider or on Jupyter, you will be able to use it.
Means we can use on both IDEs.
Yeah.
Okay.
So whenever we create an environment, it is basically an isolated environment that we're creating. Now this TF which I have created a different environment than root. This is a system defined environment. This is the environment which I have been creating. So in case I've been working with some other person, I'm sharing my PC. So that person will work on TF environment. I will work on root environment. In Python, we can change the environment variable in Python. With me?
Yes, sir.
So environment variable is also important when we say environment is basically, so the way that we have created here is the environment. So right now I've been using the base environment, that is the environment that is here. So in a similar way, we can create a different environment. So the TF environment has been there, and any other environment which we can create. So this will help us in basically working on say different isolated modules that we have. Okay, so now the second, the last thing here is, so today we have covered what is the Python, what is apart from Python, we have covered what are the data types in Python. The second is what are the libraries, how to install and how to download the libraries from like the different sources that we have. Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I guess it's enough for today for the basically considering the new batch. And okay, so let me tell you the timings. So from Monday to Friday, the batch is on. Only for Thursday, the time the batch starts at 9. For rest of the days, the batch starts at 8:30 only. So tomorrow is Thursday. We need to join at 9 p.m. So I guess some of the people are available, and in case you are new, so tomorrow we need to join at 9 p.m. Else for every other day we need to join at 8:30 p.m. And second is for Saturday there is no class. There is only doubt clearing session. In case you have any doubt, then you can come to a Saturday class that normally happens at 12 noon. With me, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Anybody any doubt till now?
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, that dictionary part I have told you, sir.
Which thing?
Can we merge two dictionaries into third one using merge function?
So whenever we work on say any of the function in Python or any of the thing, so we have the different ways. So one is basically using a system defined functions. Second is what we do. So let me tell you where it is. The Python. Here it is. Let me tell you. If I say D1 is equal to, if I make A, I'll say 10, I'll say B, I'll say 20. Okay, I'll say D2, I'll say C equal to 30, and I'll say D to 30. Like this. I'll say MER. So here, one of the simple function is what we do. I'll say D1 dot, so it will give update. I'll say D2. I'll say D1 now. Both the dictionaries are being merged. This thing you wanted to know?
Yes, sir. Actually, I have some other question like one dictionary having the name and age, and second dictionary having the phone number of the same name. So how can we merge for the two dictionaries into one?
So one dictionary has the name.
Yes,
Sec-
name with age. That is the name is the unique key which is shared by both of the dictionaries.
Mm-hmm. So what you want to do? Say
That is D1 contain let's say A, B, C, and D are the name, and A and 10 is the age, B 20 is the age, C 30 is the age, D 40 is the age. All of these data is contained in D1, and let's say in D2, A, then his phone number, B, and then his phone number, C's phone number, and D's phone number. Now I
Yeah.
want is D3 is the third dictionary which contains both of the D1 and D2's values.
So for this, what you need to do is you need to use for loop.
Okay, by using for loop only we can do this, na sir?
Yeah, by using for loop you can do it. But I don't think there's any default function that will allow you this.
Yeah.
You have to use for loop.
Yes, exactly, sir. That is my question. That's it, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So anybody else who has any doubt till now?
So one for Anaconda, we can use Python, but there is one site is python.org. What was the difference between that?
So the thing is, as I told you, Anaconda is basically used for data science with Python. So Python, if you install it, it will install the base Python to you, core Python. That is Python for developers. So what you need to do, use into. So you have to say download Anaconda Python. That's the thing you need to do.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
So,
Anybody else who has any doubt?
Sir, where exactly are we going to bridge this machine learning algorithm with the app or something, or the website?
With the
With app or any website?
so that will not be the part of this curriculum. There you need to do the basic of software engineering and machine learning both, so that when you will be working on any of the machine learning algorithm, you will be developing application of it and you will be calling that particular thing. So that's a mix of data science and software engineering. So till data science, I will be telling you the different algorithms we can make. How to bridge it into the APIs and the apps will be the different context altogether.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, any question anybody has, or I'll drop off and we'll meet tomorrow at 9. So, guys, be sure that tomorrow we will be joining at 9 only. We won't be able to before 9.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
okay,
guys.
sir. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Thank you very much. Good night. We'll meet tomorrow.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Good night. Bye.
Sir, arigato.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye.